Here we go on a Friday night.
Hey, look out.
Folks, you're watching Cranston PD Live. We are just getting underway on this Friday night. I'm going to introduce you to officer that we're with. It is a beautiful Friday night. It was a gorgeous day. Folks, share that you are watching. We're with Officer Schiappa, Cranston Police Department. Right now, we're right on time. Just 8:31. And we're going to be rolling along here on this Friday night. We'll see exactly what happens. Again, you can type in someone's name. That should notify them that, in fact, that you'd like them. Good evening, one and all. Yes, folks, here we are. I believe everything is smooth. We're expecting a smooth night, good weather night. You're going to meet our officer in just a moment. But again, we are underway. Thank you, Roberta. Team 1 is in motion.
S11 at 209. What's your 20?
On Garfield, just passing Lowe's.
Alright, 10 flight, 1025.
Officer, good evening. Good to ride with you this evening.
Absolutely.
What can you tell us so far? A beautiful day. Yesterday was busy. So far, the night starts off a little quiet on this Friday night.
A little quiet. A couple accidents. Nothing major. No major injuries. So we're in good shape there, and slowly rolling into it right now.
Much calmer than the feast last week.
I think every night's much calmer than the feast last night.
But the feast had good weather. You got to give it that.
Definitely hot weather brought everybody out.
Yep.
So
You're familiar. You've maybe seen an episode or two of Cranston PD Live?
I have.
Good. Want to give a shout out to anybody as we're getting started here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. I'll get watching up. All right, folks. Again, we are off and running on this Friday night. We'll see what the night brings. Again, this is it almost hit 90 today. It did not hit 90. But it was pretty close, but still warm night. We were just mentioning Cranston did have some action, had an incident yesterday, I believe at the McDonald's on Cranston Street, is that?
Yes. We actually had a call for shots fired.
Yeah.
So there was one person that was struck in the leg, and after we arrived there, it just turns out that it was the victim that responded into Cranston from Providence, so they'll be handling their investigation with that, as far as we're aware. And Providence police responded out, and they helped locate the victim over there with us, and they're going to be investigating that. Like I said, occurred in Providence. We just had a victim drive into Cranston. So
was that the young man? I think he was shot on Union Avenue, so he ended up on Cranston Street at Webster.
I believe so. I think somewhere on Union is where it occurred.
Yeah. Okay. So he was struck, but then he ended up in Cranston, so it becomes a joint situation. But then it's really Providence he was struck.
Yeah, mutually it obviously comes in huge there. So we get in contact with them as soon as possible. They got there shortly after us, and we'll assist each other in any way we can.
Yep.
So important part is the victim was able to get transported as soon as possible. Cranston Rescue showed up very quickly and rendered medical aid, and then he was on his way to the hospital. So as far as we're concerned, the province is definitely going to handle their investigation, and we were just there to assist.
Sure. Folks, again, good evening on this Friday. It's a beautiful Friday night. We're in Cranston, Rhode Island. You can share that you are watching. And officer, if you could just touch on it's definitely, when you hear was it a shots fired called, or it was more like a gunshot victim that there was something?
Yeah, no, initially it came in just as a victim of a gunshot to the leg, but obviously we didn't know this information. All we got over the radio, obviously all our dispatchers got, was just a victim of a shooting at that location. So we get there as quick as possible and start picking up the pieces as soon as possible.
That it's a different type of Would you say it's a different type of response when you hear that there's gunplay involved?
Yes.
We have a callback number for the caller.
That's you don't hear it. You don't hear it too often. So when something like that happens, obviously, you got anybody in the area responding. We don't have much information at that time, so we really don't know what the situation is. But figure it out as you go. But anybody and everybody that's in the area will respond and assist any means necessary.
But it's a different mindset when you have someone's been shot.
Yes. Obviously, you have a safety concern, obviously, for that person. You don't know if the shooter is still in the area. You don't know anything yet. So you're racing there as quick as you can get there safely, and once you get there, start assessing as soon as possible.
And that was in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was untypical time for that. There obviously is no typical shooting time, but you don't hear it too often. Daylight, I want to say that was probably around 5 to 6 p.m. at night. A lot of traffic on the road. And definitely surprised to hear it that early in the night.
And anything else? It's my understanding, was he in a vehicle and he wasn't sure who had taken? Like, did he arrive at the McDonald's on Cranston Street in a vehicle?
He arrived there. It was from what I could see, because obviously things happen quickly, and you're worried about his medical status, and then looked like he had gotten shot in the leg, so it ended up going through his door into him. So it's it just goes to show this stuff is happening in broad daylight too, so you always got to be aware.
All right, folks, again, we are underway Friday night. See what the night brings. I want to give special shout out again, Roberta Farrell, members of Team 1, also Ken Lowe. Saw Ken, he is recovering, him and his wonderful son. They're watching this evening. Glad he had a rough go physically. Also, huge shout out, folks, J. Perry Paving. Seeing some of their work, running into it recently, and big fans of the program. So it's Friday night. We're going to see where things bring us on this Friday night. This is episode 29. Remember, if you miss any of the other episodes, here's where the feast was last week, right?
Yeah. Location. You can see night and day.
Huge. Wow, what a difference. All right, so here's where I walked around 18 times. Oh, wow, so this field, this serves as a perfect element for the feast. Okay, with all the rides and the whole thing.
They leave just as quickly as they get here. By that night, 1 in the morning, they were already loading up the semis to get the rides out. So
on to the next one. Okay, very successful. Good weather, though. Folks, that was nice, everyone that made it down. We were on foot last Friday night, on foot at the feast. And then these areas had all the block parties and so forth, but it seemed like a good time right here in Phoenix. That was then back opened up. So, again, if you, just a reminder, because I get asked this, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching it taped. You can watch it. It's live right now on Facebook, all of our Facebook viewers, and also if you're streaming it on Spotify. And again, you can also watch it on demand. Just do #replay. You can also, folks, type in where you're watching from, and that's also a big favorite, and get an idea of just the far reach. And we had, especially with the feast, we had people from all over that were watching that. So again, folks, it is a beautiful night. Boy, what a difference. Last week, this was like Times Square right here.
Did a 180 on us, so.
That's a lot, though. It's going to be a grind on the force.
It is definitely a challenge, but it's been going on long enough.
Right.
We know what works and what doesn't work.
Sure.
And we get the manpower over here, and we keep things flowing.
It seemed to be that way. So. All right, folks, again, Friday night. Right now we're on Park Avenue. Yeah, it seems like Cranston's returned to normal. A little quiet on the Friday night. Yesterday, though, not only did you have the shooting, so he was shot in Providence and up in Cranston, and then I think there were 2 other shootings in the city as well. So something about, the hot weather certainly brings people outside more.
Yeah, it definitely brings people out. We don't know the specifics of it, obviously, with Providence handling their investigation. It seemed to be stemming, either stemming from those two parties, or it could be gang related. It could be there's a multitude of obviously reasons that follow these shootings, but it is obviously not crazy to see one and then all of a sudden another one happen. It makes you wonder, are these related in any way? But like I said, stemming from Providence, they know what they're doing. They deal with this.
They do,
and they're gonna, I'm sure, have it all wrapped up.
Yep. How did that impact traffic on Cranston Street yesterday during the afternoon rush?
Not terrible. It happened. We got there. It was it's close to the station. We had guys there very quickly. Rescue got there quickly. Providence had detectives there probably within 10 minutes. So I think we beat most of the news guys out there. So
Yes.
I think we were out of there before half of them even showed up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, also that was not really the crime scene, so there was no
exactly.
Was his vehicle towed from the scene?
I'm not sure. Once Providence got there, they ended up processing the scene with the vehicle, and they handled that. And I actually had a couple. We had a couple calls stacking up, so we started filtering out of there to go handle other options in our city.
I was heading over there and the scene cleared, so.
I
was heading over there and the scene cleared.
Gotta be quicker than that
Well,
one.
it was quick. Well, I know. You try to be. All right, folks, again, on this Friday night. And, officer, tell everyone a little bit, what time did you get on? What time are you working to?
So I work second shift, 2:45 to 10:45. And been doing that for a little bit here. I actually started in Johnston for a couple of years over there, and then transferred to Cranston. So both departments I've liked second shift. So this is the time I like.
Now, how was last night? You guys had the shooting yesterday, and then did it end up being busy? Was it a busy Thursday night last night?
Yeah, it started off really busy. It actually tapered off towards the end.
That's not a bad thing.
Especially after the feast week, and you can use some of these nights that stay relatively quiet. But it was a Thursday. Nothing too wild was happening, but weekend's here, so we'll see.
And Cranston has what's the new attraction? What is it? It's like a splash park or something, or what is
I
that?
believe they're putting that. We're getting. I think they're going to be constructing that soon. I know.
Okay.
They've been planning on that, so I think that's going to be in the area of Gansett Ave.
Okay.
Towards Bain.
Okay.
It seems to be. So that'll be a new attraction.
Yeah.
Always something new going on.
Yep. And then that'll be interesting when Top Golf, Rhode Island finally opens. Right.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
That looks like a huge build over there.
It
so
does.
I think that's going to only expand Garden City, Chapel View.
Yep.
Be more nightlife over there.
Yes. More visitors coming into the city.
I think it's going to. I think the day shift rush that we have at Garden City, we're going to see a nighttime rush as well for that whole attraction.
Yep.
Whether they put restaurants over there, more bars, who knows? But I know they're not going to leave any empty space, so they'll keep it.
It's a massive structure.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
and they just got all the posts up for their nets for the driving ranges. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
They got all those things already constructed. I think it's coming soon.
Yeah. That's a $40 million structure, I believe. So.
It is incredible.
All right, folks, we're at corner of Reservoir Avenue, Park Avenue. You're watching Cranston PD live at Iswan on this. Again, today was just a magnificent day, very humid. It's going to break later tonight, but we'll see exactly what happens on this Friday night. Officer, is the city, are you still experiencing people with fireworks? Or is that?
I think it seems to be, obviously 4th of July brings a ton of it.
Right.
But I think when they get their hands on them a month early, they can't say no. So you see them start going off a month early, and whatever they have left, they'll blast off. So it's definitely not, I'd say 9 months out of the year, you really don't hear them, you don't see them, nothing like that. I'm sure it's like this in most areas, but it's been a busy summer with them.
Seems to lead to an increase in people think they're hearing shots fired.
Yeah. Yes, definitely, for sure. We get so many of them that, half the time we get called for fireworks, it's or shots fired. That's one of the first thoughts that come to your mind. You have to decipher which it could be, but you obviously still get there. If they think it's shots fired, you get there, respond to that, and I'd rather find out it's just fireworks every single time.
In today's so far now, granted, maybe because it's so warm, a lot of people have headed down to South County and so forth, but Cranston, by and large, it's not a bad thing. It's been a little bit quiet today.
Yeah, it's been quiet today. I think when the weekends come around, we obviously have nightlife here in Cranston.
Sure.
Not a ton of it, which, has its perks. A lot of residential area in Cranston, so, nobody wants a bar on every corner.
Right.
But I think a lot of people going to the city. They're going to Providence. So weekends, we still see it stay busy, but I think during the week we stay pretty consistent because, we get a lot of people going to Providence, going to the beaches on weekends. They'll come back home, so usually calls ramp up towards the end of the night. Everybody's getting back into the house.
A lot of times, would it be fair to say sometimes some of the trouble that takes place is people that are, so to speak, like visiting the city, that they're not necessarily
like
residents?
Or,
You have a lot of that with Top Gun.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the challenge. I think that's going to draw a lot of customers in over there. So, and right next to Route 37, it's a convenient spot. We already have a huge infrastructure over there with Chapel View and Garden City, so I think it's going to draw in a lot of maybe non-residents of the city, but it's good for the city, though.
It is.
It really is.
And also, how has it been your experience this summer? It's tough to ignore the strong odor of cannabis that is sometimes permeating around the city.
Yeah, it still surprises you sometimes. When you're in public and walking around. Obviously, there's city ordinance violations against this stuff, and we still pursue these violations. But as it becomes more legal, more popular, and you're gonna see it, and between that, it's medical advantages. You're going to see it more often, and I think we'll find out, I guess, as time goes on, what's going to happen.
There's definitely been, though, an absence of ATVs in Cranston, it seems.
Yes. I don't want to jinx us, so it's been good right now. We got a lot to focus on, so we haven't seen much of that, but that seems to be like a light switch. One night it'll just become the problem. So it could happen. It doesn't seem to be a consistent thing. It happens out of the blue, and you respond to it.
And Cranston seemingly has a pretty tough zero tolerance.
I think we've exposed that. We've definitely exposed that between media platforms and just being outspoken about it. These are the policies. These are the rules. These are the laws, and if you're going to be in the city, we expect you to abide by them.
Well, they certainly add a different dynamic on the road. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I think they weren't designed for it. They shouldn't be on it.
Yep. Makes it dangerous for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, folks, again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan on this. It's a beautiful Friday night. You can type in someone's name. That should notify them. Bring it right up. We are rolling along again. It is warm out. It's just 8:50 right now in the east. We're with Officer Skiap of the Cranston Police Department right now on Reservoir. Again, for those that enjoy it, you can also tune in and watch some of the older episodes that we have that are both available on YouTube and on this Facebook page.
Julie, with rescue, quality fuel, 873 Cranston Street for a female having a seizure. Okay.
Obviously medically based call, but we're out here. We can often get there first. We don't have the rescues, to load up and try to get through traffic. So a lot of times we can get there first. So we'll assist the officer that's out there right now, saying that they should be all set. So he's, I think he's actually already out there with rescue. So we'll ride in at this pace at this point, just because there's no urgency. We don't need to, risk anything getting to this call. There's no need for it.
Well, you never know in a call like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you're only getting this call from whoever's reporting it. Obviously there's some people that have obviously a lot of medical knowledge, but you never know. Right. So get guys there, assess it, see if you can assist in any way, and then we'll have rescue heading there anyway. But it doesn't hurt just to show up. Come on, buddy, what are you doing?
208. Ready. Want to know female transported to Rhode Island? 3 on left.
It's that quick.
10-4.
Well, it must have been serious then.
Yeah.
Check the area of Mountain Laurel Drive for a 4-door silver vehicle pulled up alongside the caller's daughter and her friend as they were walking the dog. Tried to give them magazines. They thought it was suspicious.
Folks, again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. It's Friday night. It is Juan. This is episode 29, by the way. We're in Cranston, Rhode Island. Cranston police officer Schiappa. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
You got it.
209. 24 Tilden Street for a hit and run. The Amazon truck hit a vehicle on the driveway and took off.
you enjoy your feast when you went? Quite the
That's quite the experience.
you get your steps in that weekend?
Yes, big time. I can see why it's once a year.
Yeah. It's,
And again, Cranston Police, the Cranston Police do the best job possible, but it becomes a little bit of babysitting for people that seemingly are having too much of a good time or overserved.
yeah, I think I don't think anybody got any weak drinks that weekend.
Yeah.
But they we basically closed off all those roads over
Right,
there,
well, that's the
and they
way.
have we have the manpower there.
Yeah. And there were no major incidents at all. No. It was different. Then it was also different being on the streets amongst
Yeah.
all the people.
Yeah, when you don't have a game plan to go there and go hang out at a bar, and you just kind of walk around and do the outskirts and look in from the outside, it's a different experience.
Yeah.
But
It was a lot.
a lot of people brought their families, a lot of people brought their kids, and they get to see the ride. They get to go to whole neighborhood gets together, and they get to.
Plus the fireworks on Sunday night. And the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Those fireworks must bring in people from all over the state at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, it's just you got people parking in any and every business that they can just to.
Is there a lot of incidents with now? Is this a hit and run with an Amazon truck?
Yes, this
Okay.
is from what we know right now. Amazon vehicle sounds like they either made a delivery or turning around in that street and struck a vehicle and took off. But from what I can see already on the call, I guess the victim of it has some kind of video footage.
Okay.
Never a bad idea to invest in cameras.
I see a lot of the trucks right on Cranston Street, the Amazon trucks.
Yeah. I think I see them out a lot at night. I think they're. I was actually seeing them 2 days ago. I think they all go to the same gas station at the end of the night anyway, so they're all floating around.
Is that helpful if people maybe invest in either some kind of a just a Ring doorbell camera or just a regular camera?
Yeah, I think these house-mounted cameras are huge when it comes to these investigations. I mean, this is obviously it's still property damage. Somebody's not going to be happy about their vehicle being struck, but on any facet of any kind of crime, they're huge.
Yeah.
It's definitely a great investment.
Just in the area.
I want to thank everyone. We had so many people that were coming out to the feast and shouting hello. We had a group that was walking behind us, following, watching on foot. People were very, very nice. Thank you to everyone that was out there. It seemed like it was a very successful event for the city. Again, for those that are just tuning in, you're watching Cranston PD Live. We are in Cranston, Rhode Island. It's been a very, one of the hotter days that we've had this summer here in the Northeast. And it's going to break later tonight. I think it's going to cool off tomorrow, but it's a hot Friday night. I think a lot of people are down at the beaches, but much different experience than being on foot at the feast last Friday night. So definitely well. Now remember, you can always share that you're watching, folks, and also type in someone's name if you want to notify them, and that will alert them. Do some shout outs a little bit later. It's so many people watching. Remember, if you are watching this, a lot of people put in the comments where they're watching from. And then if you have a question, we have our moderators, Roberta Farrell, our executive moderator, then also Ian and David.
corner. Temple.
Actually, we'll pull over. We can get the cars through here.
You think?
Lucky guess, right?
Yeah.
So, what was it, Amazon, you think?
Yeah. Well, I have them on. I took a screenshot of my fiance's on the phone with Amazon, putting the report in, but I have it on. So he was in the yard,
Oh, yeah.
and then this is him from the other camera backing up into it. So, I mean, we put a claim in with them, and then I didn't know.
Yeah, we'll do
I figured I would call you too because it's never happened.
It
So,
couldn't hurt to cover yourself.
Yes.
Do you know if you have the insurance card for the
of
vehicle?
course. Yeah, yeah.
No problem.
Right back.
I'll meet you out here. Yeah, if you don't mind just
I
doing
pay
what
insurance.
we'll do is this way. Here, that way, if you do have to chase it for any reason, we already got all the legwork done. That way, if you do have to chase it, calls back.
Is that the, so he hit the light and it's lying right there in the driveway?
Yeah, it looks like he caught the light in like the rear quarter of the truck right there. Either pulling in or backing out, but their footage, their video cameras have it perfectly. So they're going to file a claim with the company, but it doesn't hurt just to give us a call whenever there's an accident. We'll take record of it too, and then this way you're not left high and dry in case they stop answering.
How's her quality, the footage of the video?
Very good. These cameras, I mean, they're not the cheapest, but they're not crazy expensive. In situations like this, you spend $50 on a camera and it can save you quite a bit of body damage.
Folks, again, we're going to step away just for a moment. You're watching Cranston PD Live. Again, this is part of what the police have to do, which is have someone, this individual, you could see her truck with the Amazon, apparently hit it. We're going to handle this, and then we're going to be off on our way. It's just 9:07 in the east. he's following up with them on accident report. It's early. Go easy. I saw that comment. Folks, again, good evening. Thank you for all the stars on this Friday night. If you like live stream, original content. Are you kidding me? This is a breath of fresh air after the incident yesterday in the housing project. If you missed, check the video of the crowd gathers on the website. It's also on YouTube. He's chatting with them. We'll go in a moment. All right, folks, when we're on our way.
I signed myself a number. I'll be 10-8.
10-4.
How was their demeanor?
I guess they're working with Amazon, so they're gonna hopefully give them a claim and figure all that on their end. But like I said, it doesn't hurt just to throw it on paper form in case a week or two from now they're running into issues. They at least have something documented, and we can assist if we can. And
Sure.
you know.
Is that always helpful if someone does experience that some kind of a delivery truck or someone backing in their driveway damages the
I
vehicle?
mean, I think that these, the delivery drivers they're doing tons of stops a day. These trucks are not that visible. I mean, not that easily to look out of. So
Sure.
I'm not sure if he knew that he sideswiped it or if he didn't. But they're already working with Amazon. It's a huge company, so they're gonna figure that out. But just give us a call if you have some damage like that and you suspect it's from something like that, or you have video footage. I mean, it just covers yourself.
Don't handle it on your own.
No vigilante work.
Yeah. Now, where are we in the city right now, officer?
So we're on Atwood Ave right now. We were about 3 blocks away from Plainfield Pike, so that's the one of our borders.
Yep.
So now we're starting to work our way from the northern side of our city back southbound. We'll take Atwood down and see if we can end up near Reservoir and New London that way. See if there's anything going on down there.
Yeah, a lot of people maybe just be staying inside with the air conditioning.
I don't blame them. After last week, it ain't easy to sit up here. So,
Folks, again,
we're all the Cranston residents. They already got all the partying out of them last weekend.
Folks, again, Friday night you're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan. For again, for some of the people, different parts of the country that then pick up on this, we are 1 hour south of Boston. We are 3 hours north of New York City. It's Cranston, Rhode Island, right outside of Providence, right next to Providence, actually. For those that stumble into this, and there's a lot of them, you can go back and watch some of the other episodes that we have, all on demand. I will get to a number of the shout-outs of people watching, especially a lot of police departments around the country. And then also, folks, if you do have a question, you can always type it in for some of our moderators that we have on this Friday night. Now, there's also a fall festival. I saw a posting for that. Is that also?
We've gotten into spring and fall fests that we have, so obviously seasonal, but they're having good turnouts. Yes. And we have a lot of our department, the fire departments come out there. A lot of the different services from the city come out there and have a little get-together. Bring your kids. There's usually plenty of stuff for the kids to enjoy. Sure. And food vendors and different trades. People with different trades will come by, and it's a good time.
Is after the feast, is that almost like a sigh of relief within the department? I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. It's right back into the mix of the normal patrol. Sure. And but yeah, it's definitely a lot, and it always comes up quicker than you think. Yep. And it's a good time. It's just it's nice to know that we have 355 days until it begins again.
That's right. Look who's counting.
Exactly.
Yep. So, folks, in the meantime, again, we are out in Cranston on this Friday night. Officer, again, maybe your experience, but a lot of times policing the ebb and flow, to me it's almost, it's a lot of hurry up and wait, and then all of a sudden it could be quiet, and then all of a sudden, boom, something happens.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's hard to prepare. It's hard to have settings where you can just prepare for them. When we do have options where, between the feast and different scenarios where we can prepare for something that we know is coming, we take advantage of it. Just because we're so used to not having that time to prepare and just being put in the spot. So sure. That's probably what helps out with between the feasts, these different festivals we have. I mean, all throughout the state, any departments that have their festivals and their local stuff, you take advantage of it when you can.
Sure.
Spend some time to come up with a plan.
And during the course of last weekend, I saw a couple people tossed. I didn't hear of any major type of incident and arrests or anything like that. Maybe just some disorderly conduct.
Yeah, we had definitely a fair amount of disorderly conducts, and I think that I think we had a couple domestics going on at the same time, and sure. It's important not to forget that we got all this going on down here with thousands of people, but we still have a whole rest of the city to answer to as well.
Right.
So that doesn't stop, and that continues, and there was definitely some disorderly arrests and between different fights going on and different just a little controlled chaos for a little bit of time there, and you add alcohol into the mix, and you're going to have that.
Right.
But relatively a controlled year.
Yeah. I also last Friday night. So you also have not only officers on foot but also on bike patrol.
Bike patrol. We had our traffic division was out there on their motorcycles, so they were patrolling on those. They were able to respond to some stuff that was going on, and they're more maneuverable if they have to get through tight locations. We obviously had our officers from a lot of different of our divisions. They'll come out and assist, so they'll between working details and these different options just to help keep manpower there. So you see a lot of guys that you don't really run into too often. If I'm just in patrol, so between detectives, school resource officers, traffic division, so they all come out and
it's like a reunion
in a way.
Yeah. Again, folks, you can see we do have the footage posted. Foot patrol at the feast. We were right in the main carnival area.
You were with Officer Brothers in Rockio, right?
Correct.
You were walking around with them.
Yep. They were excellent. Very quick to diffuse any trouble that popped up.
Oh yeah, I think between the two of them together, I'm sure a lot of diffusing was going on.
Definitely de-escalating a lot.
100%. You know, they both actually work overnight shifts, so I'm sure they were just happy to see some sunlight. You know.
Sure. All right, folks. Again, we are on Park Avenue. It's Friday night. You're watching Cranston PD Live. Special shout out to everybody at Ted Stadium. They've done watch parties in the past. It's very kind of them. But Cranston Police has had a busy first half of the year, though.
Yeah,
It's a busy spring.
Busy spring, and even with the weather not cooperating all the time, you know, it's just been staying very steady, and now we got the heat coming in. You know, Rhode Island's been real humid lately.
Yes.
So, we'll see how the year ends, but I don't think it's slowing down.
Want to special hello to the police in Lexington, Kentucky, stumbled into the program. Also, Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Special shout out, of course, always Massachusetts State Police. We also have a special birthday coming up. We're going to mention that coming up. A lot of loyal folks. You can also, all of the other episodes are all on the website, depetro.com. And then also links to some of the body cam video, some of the more high-profile incidents involving the department. There have been a few of them. Right now we're on Reservoir Avenue, heading towards the Garden City area. Yeah, quiet Friday night in the summertime is not a bad thing.
I think, I mean, light traffic. It's 9:30, and we don't got much on the road, so looks like everybody's calling it a night.
I am G5 Reservoir Spray, New Hampshire Edge 5002818.
Seven on Mountain 3.
How effective have those flock cameras been as far as?
They've been huge. I mean, definitely big. You know, you can see a bunch of departments now are jumping on board as well. And
Cranston was first.
Cranston was first, but we got plenty of departments jumping on, and you know, we're able to assist each other. It's the technology race. It's going to continue, and it's not always a bad thing for us, at least. It's helping out, and they get utilized for sure.
Right. For instance, yesterday, if there had been, just hypothetical, but another vehicle involved with the shooting, if you had the plate, that could go in and then track them if they were riding through the city.
Yeah, I think you know, if Providence had, I'm not sure if they do. So, and I'm not sure where they would have them over there. But if they had them, then they could definitely use that to assist them in, you know, locating what's going on, or at least getting a better idea of how it happened or how it occurred. But you know, I think it's going to become prevalent with almost all these different agencies, just because it saves us so much time.
It seems like it's a good tool for police.
Yeah, it's if a tool can cut down the time we have to investigate something, I mean, that's what usually it is. It's a race against the clock, because we're trying to just understand and figure out how something happens. You know, if we can have some kind of technology that can cut back on that time, it's a huge asset to us. It allows us to get our guys on the road going towards that direction for what we you know, inevitably we're responding to, and then we're able to save what's happening and analyze. You know, there's fault in having plenty of time to take a look back on something and just. One second, just want to make sure nobody's in this intersection. Plenty of time to go back and look at all the footage and get a better picture of what happened, and
Sure.
you can gets to work its way through our detectives, all these different divisions, so you don't just need a first-person view.
Right.
We got plenty of time. So you can see the red lights up there?
Yeah. The red lights, is that Top Golf?
That's going to be their...
Wow. Holy cow. It looks like it's like an airport. I believe that's going to be opening in the next 30 days. Yep, there it is. Wow, they go high. Wow, it's like a stadium. Look at that. They're not fooling around. That's a big piece of property, too. What a massive structure. It is. Wow. Looks like Fenway. That's going to be Top Golf.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
going to be Top Golf.
Yep.
I thought I had heard that they may be putting either restaurants or
Sure. I
other
think that's
businesses
what's
inside it.
Yeah.
But if you've been to one before, you know that they bring the people in.
Yes. Well, this will be a busy area then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks, again on this Friday night, you're watching Cranston PD Live. It is a very warm night on this Friday in Cranston. So far, a little bit of quiet on this Friday night. What about DUIs last weekend? Was that a problem at all after people leaving the feast, or not so much?
We obviously were the last to leave with all those bars and everybody heading out of there, and I gotta say, I don't think we actually ran into any issues with that. But I think that you had a lot of people from the neighborhood walking in.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you the amount of Ubers and different rideshare programs, so that was good.
Good.
And you know, I
Makes
think
a difference.
a lot of carpooling going on and responsible drivers, because I don't think we ran into any issues with it, which, you know, it's surprising in a way, because the amount of, you know, between bars and just people are outside, they're exhausted and they're dehydrated, and it'll catch up on you. But a lot of ride shares going on and a lot of people walking home that live in the neighborhood.
Good. The rideshare, that's definitely different. You know, you didn't have those in the past.
Oh yeah, I think it makes you. It should make everybody understand there's absolutely no reason why that shouldn't be utilized with the amount of options we have at this point.
Yep.
You know, there really is no excuse. it's going to be handled that way. So between ride shares and you really should be utilizing them.
Folks, again, on this Friday night, you're watching Cranston PD Live. For those that are just tuning in, if you could, what section of the city is this?
So we just got off the end of 37, so the joint highway that connects Warwick and Cranston. We're going to be heading towards Oaklawn right here down Wilbur, and be pretty close to the Warwick line. About 20 minutes ago we were on the Johnston line over there, so we'll start working our way back in down New London from that direction. This is our far southern side of the city.
One night we were here and a woman went off the road into the woods.
Yeah, I actually had once you start getting out to the woods over here, it's
it's pretty dark.
It's dark. Roads tighten up a little bit,
Yeah.
and you got brush line right in the side of the road, so it'll pull you in there if you end up even cresting the curb.
Yep.
And earlier today we had an accident that was, I want to say, 2 addresses away from where Cranston connects to West Warwick, way out in the woods, and the woman had a deer run across the front of her, and she swerved, and unfortunately she ended up striking a brand new massive telephone pole. So she was luckily no injuries, which I was amazed. She hit it pretty good. And,
484.
once you get out here in the woods, when you hear an accident, it's usually bad.
Spun to the lot in front of Tavern on the Square. Calls on a green Kia that came out in a car. Yeah. 4.
Obviously, we had a lot of flooding going on over here recently, but where's the auto?
484, we're 3. Why don't you go back to 3?
Now this will bring us to the back of the Pastore complex,
Yes,
correct?
so we're actually wrapping around on that right now. Okay. And this is one of our last main roads before with Warwick to our right.
Yep.
And the last cut throughs.
A couple weeks ago, I was along went into Harrington Hall looking for some offenders that had not registered. That was interesting.
Yeah, we have an SVU division that obviously stays on the ball with that.
Yep.
And they do great work with that. So rules to apply to, and they're just doing their work to make sure that everybody's doing the right thing, and we'll do that quite often. It's a pretty consistent thing. It's not something that we focus on for a short amount of time. It's very consistent.
Yeah.
And we take it very seriously.
That seems that can generate a lot of calls.
Yes.
Harrington.
We actually, believe it or not, we don't go there. We'll go there for those checks, obviously, being that it's inside the city. But a lot of these buildings and properties are state properties. They'll have state police answer to a good amount of the calls that are going on over there. Even though it's inside the city, and sometimes if they're tied up or there's something going on and that it needs some urgency, we'll definitely assist and get there too. But they seem to keep a good wrap on all that. Any of those buildings.
Yep. Folks, again, Friday night. Right now we are at Pontiac and approaching into the Garden City area. You're watching Cranston PD.
Filtering your supervisor, go to 3.
Quiet night we got here.
Yeah, it's okay. Quiet night for police is not a bad thing.
No, it's good for all.
Yes. Especially after the Feast Marathon.
We could use it.
That's just a lot with the crush of people.
Yeah, and it comes in waves. I mean, everybody has their schedule they're trying to get there for. They know when these places open. They know, you got the early crowd. They want to bring their kids to the rides. They want to get in there and have some space because it gets so packed. So they handle that, and then after that, you almost watch the age groups by the hour just get 5 years older at a time until we end up with everybody 21 and up out on Phoenix Ave.
By 11:30, it's a different crowd.
Oh yeah, it's
like a large outdoor nightclub. Garden City also seems to be constant. Got to have a presence here, right?
Yeah.
Pretty small.
There's almost always one of us in here floating around, just putting yourself out in the open, letting them know that we're here. A lot of times we'll be flagged down by people, just giving us a heads up about something, or like this call, somebody had something that's missing from their vehicle. They think it may have been taken from their vehicle, so it doesn't hurt just to be in the area. And once we double in size, between Chapel View and Garden City, and then Top Golf, I think that we're gonna just have to continue this, and
Definitely a presence of Cranston police in and around the area.
yeah, we stay
Visible.
gets monotonous sometimes. We just stay moving, stay floating around.
And Bill from the Eagle. For me, please.
We want if there's people that need us for something.
Yep.
Most people have cell phones on them, but if you need us, we're right there. A lot of people will wave out to us. We'll stop by and or sometimes when people are on the fence about contacting us about something, like even if it's something relatively petty, if they see you there, they're more likely to reach out.
Sure.
Than thinking that they're going to hassle other people.
It seems the body cams have been a positive for the police.
Yeah, I think there's doesn't hurt to have these things on you. You're doing the right thing. You're making the right decisions, and you're responding correctly. They can do nothing but help you. So, they're obviously basically nationwide at this point. Maybe not every department has them, but I'm sure that at least departments in every state of the country has them at this point. And it's just another tool, and you know what, they get utilized for. If we, I can't tell you how many times we've already seen situations where it's helped us out, it's assisted us. We can go back and review video. We can utilize it in court. We can utilize it for between any kind of false complaints, anything like that.
Yeah.
We have these on us, and we make people very aware they're on us. And
Just as a hypothetical, if you were, not that it happens, but to encounter a situation where someone says, "I didn't say that. No, that didn't happen that way."
like I said, they go to court with us, and I'm sure that is and often brought up in court that I didn't say something or I didn't do something, and this will tell all. So it holds people accountable sometimes, and maybe other times when you have no other proof of what somebody does or says, and they did it right in front of you, it'll show up in court.
Action.
We got something going on over here. Car stop with two of our officers. body armor, gun case. We had body armor and gun case.
Folks, again, we'll just let the officers speak just for a moment. You're watching Cranston PD Live. Folks, Friday night, a little bit of an ebb and flow. We'll hear a little bit. I could overhear, but I'm going to let the officer share with you what they're saying. I think that was, well, that's Officer Cooper. That's also the other officer that was with the warrant. Again, on this Friday night. Thank you for all the stars, folks. For those that watch, know there's an ebb and flow, and many times after at different times when it can be very busy. It's not a bad thing for police to have a little bit of a quieter night. So we'll let the officers have a moment. Again, I want to remind people you can subscribe to the page, find out when we go live. By sending stars, you show your appreciation for our live stream coverage. We'll see what they have to say. Sounds like it was an interesting stop. Sounded like an interesting car stop.
Yeah, it's so I guess they were searching a vehicle for I'm not sure what. We just pulled up over there. We was only there for 2 minutes, and they were still handling what their investigation was. But looks like there was some sort of vehicle search, possibly, or if they had something that they had seen that raised suspicion. They were out in that car stop for a little bit, so they were definitely just investigating what was going on with something with that vehicle. Or the operator inside it.
What's the best thing someone that gets pulled over, how they can what's the best way to behave in a situation like that?
Yeah, we see a whole litany of different reactions.
Yeah.
I think
206.
some people's natural reaction is they get scared. That would probably happen with new drivers. They've never experienced car stops or.
215 Calumet Road for possible 2801.
But I think honesty and just staying pretty level-headed.
Yep.
I think usually you get back the same treatment and the same demeanor that you give. So if you're pretty calm, I think the officer is going to find that common nature too.
Sure.
Once people get very excited and they start getting very nervous, we react to that sometimes as is there a reason that we should be nervous as well? Is there something going on here that you're not comfortable with, and that we're not aware of yet, that we shouldn't be comfortable with?
Right.
So I think that's when you kind of heighten people's senses. And
210.
like I said, usually one reaction, and then the other person starts reacting very similar.
Check the area TP trail at Whaler Ridge for a large loud party.
Folks, we're back on Park Avenue on this Friday night. You're watching Cranston PD Live. We've seen those two officers in the past and some different.
Yeah. They work beats next to each other.
Yeah.
So Reservoir Ave actually separates their two distinctive areas. So they often, one will see something, they'll initiate a traffic stop, and the other person's usually not far away. So they're usually paired up most of the time. It's hard to forget a mustache like that too, you know? Restaurants, and they've already they're all letting out.
Yeah. A quiet night. Not a bad thing for them.
Especially after this week.
Right. Folks, again, Friday night, we're with Officer Schiappa, Cranston Police, on this final Friday in July. It's been a very warm day here in the Northeast. Just a reminder, if you'd like to watch some of the older episodes, they're all on demand. This is episode 29. And also those that are watching that on YouTube or Spotify, some of our other platforms. Special shout out to the police in Philadelphia. They were fascinated by the feast. We have actually police from all over that watch it. People all over. You can put where you're watching from.
stop this vehicle. No headlights. He's got his taillights on right now, but that's your lights on.
Go 9.
We got a G5, Cranston at Fields, Rhode Island Commercial 21397. All set. All your lights are off. I just want.
I had them on.
Yeah.
And I stopped and I forgot to put them back on.
Yeah, like I said, when you pulled out, I just want to make sure that nobody hits the back of you. Give your ID on you by chance? Your license is perfect. You live in the area, or you just?
Yeah. Chestnut Hill. I
Oh,
just stopped
so you're just pulling out of there.
Yeah, I stopped. I'm going back to Jamestown. And
Seems like it was just an oversight. Sounds like a lot of driving. He's about to drive just came from Jamestown. He's driving back to Jamestown and had to swing home. So looks like just an oversight. He forgot to turn his lights back
Go
on.
1. Well, check the area of the parking lot of Shriners, One Roads Place, Clark, nearby on Lockwood. So there's a car in the lot with the lights on. You can hear somebody screaming. I can handle that.
All right, folks, let's see how this is going to be resolved. I think he's just going to send him on his way. We'll be off on our next stop.
Simple. Okay. I got a second call, anonymous, saying it's 103 TP Trail, possible underage drinking party. I'll be out. Okay.
217.
Copy.
Most of the businesses are closed in this plaza. If not, they're closing right now. It's 10 o'clock, so just making some checks, making sure there's nothing out out of the ordinary going on back here that we haven't seen.
Okay.
Doesn't look like there's anybody hanging out, but not a bad practice.
Folks, again, good evening, everyone, on this Friday night. You're watching Cranston PD Live. We are in Cranston, Rhode Island. It is Juan once again riding along. Cranston Police. Officer Schiappa. Heard there was a call for underage drinking but anonymous. Is that it's okay for people if they don't have to give who they
you're not obligated to give any information just to report something.
Sure.
There's a positive and negative to it.
Yeah.
If this one really doesn't make a difference, but if you're reporting something and you might be an eyewitness to something and you report it anonymously and we get there and either whatever you're reporting is not going on, or it's not at the level that it was going on before, it makes it harder for us. We have nobody to contact or to speak with, to get your side of it, or what you saw. So if we see it often with if somebody sees an assault going on outside, we go there and the people aren't there, and now we got nobody to call. We don't know what direction they went, and now it's a little bit more difficult.
Right.
But some people enjoy their privacy and they just want to give us a call and let us know something, and not. They may not want to get completely involved, which I can understand. So I think the situation dictates which way is a better option. So this is actually the parking lot where the shooting victim was in. He actually pulled in just like these cars are parked over here, and his path to get over here was straight through Webster, coming in from Union Ave. That road is kind of, I don't know whether it's Cranston or Providence, but it happened actually over the Route 10 overpass, it sounds like. So Providence was going to continue with their investigation.
Right.
But quite a ways to drive, as after being
shot,
victim of a shooting.
207. 22 headquarters. 4514.
Simple.
And it sounds like he got shot. The bullet went through the door.
Yeah, it actually, from when we pulled up, we saw the, initially his injury to the leg. The door was open, and then we saw how it passed right through the door, right through the door panel, and struck him. So he was lucky.
He was conscious.
Yes, conscious, pretty relatively calm, and not much information for us, but relatively calm.
723.
to 1023. 10. 202. 202. All the lots are empty. Continue. Council.
Wow, it's like a village with all those vehicles parked there.
Yeah, they line that street pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty consistently.
Yeah.
We enforce our overnight parking in the city.
Yep.
Pretty consistently, but this guy's just leaving a one-way road onto a two-way road.
Yeah.
And I think you just realized that right there. This is the back neighborhood that touches between Twin Oaks.
Oh, yeah.
Party was dispersed on my arrival. 10-8. Done for.
Seven.
7.
Informational only. 10-8.
Done for.
So you know it's the slow night in the city when there's front row parking at Twin Oaks.
That's right. Again, a quiet night for police is not a bad thing. Especially after the activity of the feast. Folks, again, on this Friday night, you're watching Cranston PD Live. Just as an update, we're hearing, I want to thank Chris.
Yes, Mike, 1019 on the lobby call.
It sounds like they may have located the body of that missing swimmer down in Esquamican.
Done for.
Thank you to Chris on that.
open. Okay.
Information only at this time. They're updated. Will be tight.
I think tomorrow night they actually have boxing going on back again at the Park Ave Theater over there.
We just got a 911 call, and now we're getting a third call reporting the party has moved to 1 Quail Ridge.
Sounds like they're.
That's where I knew a few of them were walking into that direction. That's where they're staying for the night.
Party on the move.
Yeah, I think out from one house to the next.
Now, what part of the city is that in?
That's going to be pretty far up west. Kind of in the right up Phoenix Ave, right before you get to the Hope intersection, and it's up in one of those deep neighborhoods up Kimberly Ave, or Kimberly Lane. So we got a couple guys up there that are heading that way.
Were you working the last time the boxing was?
I think I have been pretty lucky lately. Even with that one, I wasn't here for. I came in the next day and heard about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure from the guys that were there, they said it got a little out of control. And because of that, like I said, we have to just learn from previous calls that we have, and make sure we stay prepared for anything that can happen. So the game plan always just changes. We just learn from the last one and move on.
Right.
Hopefully,
So that's tomorrow night.
I think it's tomorrow night they have that. So hopefully they can put on a good show over there, keep everything inside the building, and
We got 2 additional calls.
sounds like quite the party they got going. We can start heading.
10-4. There's like 100 kids out this way.
Oh wow.
You can only do so much. Yeah, that's what they're complaining about.
Oh yeah.
Some party goers. It's actually the street. Go home! I can see how the neighbors called now.
Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of kids.
They on their way out?
They're kind of moving.
All right.
Have a good one, boys. Howdy, officers.
Surprised they all made it in here without the neighbors calling.
Yeah.
I'm leaving now, but. Back around and see what progress they're making, but might run across that road, something big.
Was this the complaint? They were just moving house to house?
So I think the initial call was one street away from here,
Okay.
but I think it was within walking distance.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they actually started here, parked their cars, and then
Oh, walked
maneuver
over
there,
there.
and then they said, you know, we can still hang out over here.
Yep.
Obviously, at this time of night, people are gonna notice these crowds.
Is that an officer right there?
That is,
Yeah.
yeah. Just want you to keep an eye on. But there's got to be a homeowner involved with this because I think that's what he's talking right now. 'Cause, you know, this is a little out there.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
Neighborhood watch anyways. Yep, I'm out of here. Have a good one. Why is he have the camera out? Hey! He's got me on GoPro! No filming! I'm a minor! No, we're about to be on TV! Hell yeah! Just got Fox 5! Fox 5! Get ass! Oh wait, is that the... Yo, they got the cam! They got the cam! Yo, get me on it, John! Get me on it, John! Get me on the fly! Get me on the fly! Let's go! Get in your car, go home!
Folks, again, there's a massive party in Western Cranston. Share that you're watching. Folks are still not leaving.
Let's go! Get in your car and go home! This is not the place to be loitering! That's what I'm saying. I've been more than patient with you! Yo! Yes, sir, news. Yes, sir, news.
Trying to get everybody out of here, you know?
This is gonna go on Cops.
Yeah,
What's up? My boy. He's going on Cops.
You serious? Going on
What's going on?
Is it actually?
One on the scene. We love you.
We love you!
Alright, you're good. Come on.
Come on, you're internationally famous.
Folks, again, share that you're watching. Cranston Police trying to clear this massive party here. Thank you for the stars, everybody, on this Friday night. A little bit quiet. I think there are still some people inside the house. Folks, again, you're watching. Look at the number of police it's taking to break up this. This is a really large party. And they're still coming by.
What's going on, sir? Oh, he's video blogging for YouTube.
Where are the parents? Knocking on the windows.
We're on a couple more rides and we'll have everybody out.
Folks, I believe the young man saying to the officer that people just kept showing up. It can actually happen with social media and also Snapchat, where then they give an address and you can see how many kids showed up. And these kids are still walking around. They don't live in this neighborhood.
Mind your car, boys. Go.
Oh my God. Now they're concerned. So folks, these kids are saying people are pulling up and then realizing the party's been kind of raided, and then they're going back to their vehicles. But they are still arriving. You can see some of these kids still pulling up. There's more of them. So it sounds like the host kind of lost control of the party.
Host is saying that he had it leaked on Facebook. He had no clue this was this turned into a 5 or 6 person gathering into Project X real quick. So he's got a he has, I guess these are all of his friends that he had over that he knows about. And he just said that it's just everybody from his school, from his college showing up. So.
All right, folks, so as you heard, the party was posted, leaked out. Are you looking for the party? People are still showing up. not realizing that the police have already asked everyone to leave.
At this point, they're all out of the road. Anybody that's here is in your backyard, so if they keep having people show up and both sides together.
What's your name, just in case they call back on the
And here come more of them. Oh.
Put a phone number for him to call when we get them at body on that guy.
At the station.
People are still showing up.
Yeah, they got he's claiming that this was a small get-together that turned wild because people leaked it to social media, his address, and a bunch of kids from his college are showing up. But I'm sure he's not too excited about it.
Didn't seem to be any parents home.
I don't know where the homeowners are, but all the neighbors are calling.
Yeah. People in the neighborhood didn't seem like they knew what hit them.
Yeah, I think even we had the neighbor leaving, pulling out, asking if he was good to drive, like good to continue through the crowd.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, as they're moving out of the way, because he said he was just heading home, but nobody was expecting that.
He did the right thing to, or somebody did, to call the police.
Yeah, one of the neighbors, I'm sure, because it sounds like this has been going on. I mean, it's the second call we got there, so it sounds like this has been going on for about an hour now. One of the neighbors called, but they're all on the way.
Now, how were the kids that were they're waiting for rides, or they're just going back to the cars or hanging out?
Yeah, I think most of them were leaving or waiting for rides out of there. And the other officer that showed up first was, speaking with the male that was at the house. He was explaining, how this came to be, but he just wanted them all dispersed at that point.
Yeah.
He's got kids in his yard that he barely even knows from his school, and
Folks, again, Friday night, you're watching Cranston PD Live. Quite a difference, the kids at the party compared to where we were earlier in the night and the shooting and Cranston Street and so forth. So
it's been a little bit of everything the past couple days.
Folks, again, on this Friday night, you've been watching Cranston PD Live. Officer Schiappa of the Cranston Police Department. I want to remind people you can watch this on demand. It'll be posted, plus you can then also see it on YouTube, and you can see some of our other episodes, all of them actually. This is episode 29, all of them, all listed. You can also go to the website, depetro.com. We're going to be saying goodnight soon. So we want to thank, our moderator, executive moderator, is Roberta Farrell. We also want to thank David and Ann. And certainly want to thank the officer. It's been an interesting Friday night. Again, officer, what a difference of the Friday nights between the feast and
Yeah, we caught a 180 here on from last week to this week, but
that's not a bad thing, though.
No. And if we had a busier night than last Friday, we would have had big issues.
Yes.
So now we'll carry this into the weekend and see what that brings. But as long as the weather stays nice, I'm sure people will be out enjoying it, reaping the benefits.
That's exactly right.
Officer, thank you again. And folks, again, we're going to be signing off. But again, we want to thank the officer. Thank you, everybody, tuning in. Cranston PD Live. And we're going to say goodnight from Cranston.